Valve's Deadlock is absolutely loaded with real-world cultural references, from pop culture pieces to entertainment Easter eggs and nods to other Valve titles. At its core, the city Deadlock takes place in, known as the Cursed Apple, is an alternate take on a 1930s, 1940s New York City, combining that era's grit with Deadlock's own occult, creating a unique blended supernatural society. As someone who gets excited like a little dweeb at catching these parallels, I thought I would share my findings. And today we're deep diving into one of these lanes, going over every shout out to a real world historical figure and their ties to the Deadlock lore. Alright, I got my glasses. Now let's dig into some history with a bit of Deadlock flair. My name is Chancla. Deadlock School is in session.
Don't any of you have the guts to play for blood?
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
Doc Holliday. John Henry Holliday, born August 14th, 1851 in Griffin, Georgia. A man who lived on borrowed time after tuberculosis upended his dentistry career. Graduating in 1872, he left humid Georgia for the dry West, roaming from many towns like Dallas and Dodge City, starting with dental work but ultimately becoming a sharp-witted gambler and a notorious gunslinger. His legend peaked in Tombstone, Arizona, with the gunfight at the OK Corral on October 26, 1881, a 30-second shootout where Doc deputized with Wyatt Earp and his brothers. They faced outlaw cowboys who defied gun laws. 3 of these outlaws died. Soon after this fight, revenge followed. The outlaws killed Morgan and wounded Virgil, both of Wyatt Earp's brothers, sparking Doc and Wyatt's vendetta ride. Their seek for revenge was successful, with Holliday and Wyatt becoming outlaws themselves in the eyes of the Arizona authorities. Time on the run ultimately brought Doc to Colorado, where he spent his final days gambling, dying of tuberculosis on November 8, 1887. A tragic doomed icon in Wild West history.
Holliday. Your grandfather casts a long shadow, but you can still make him proud. Summon the Archmother and she will help you find justice.
Within Deadlock, Doc Holliday is Holliday's grandfather, her revolver named Doc's Orders, serving as a family heirloom once belonging to him, though carrying these blood ties also means carrying on his legacy. Holliday makes it clear that living in the shadow of such a notorious figure weighs heavily on her.
Holliday, I don't suppose you're related to...
Yeah.
Long Shadow.
Try not to think about it.
Let's make him proud.
With the aid of the patrons, she seeks to avenge the lives lost in her hometown of Macomb, Illinois, by killing the troubadour, the figure responsible, while also aiming to prove herself worthy of the Holliday name. Florence Nightingale, born 1820, was a British nurse who transformed modern nursing during the Crimean War. She became famous for improving hospital sanitization, lowering death rates, and treating wounded soldiers on the front lines. She's considered a founder of nursing and a lasting symbol of compassion, discipline, and medical reform. She passed away in 1910.
She is a criminal!
I am a female entrepreneur in a male-dominated industry. As far as role models go, I'm basically Florence Nightingale with a gun.
Wraith considers herself a Florence type. She protects others too, with her Tommy gun. George Frederick Cooke, born in 1756, was a renowned English actor. Famous for his romantic acting style, he was equally known for heavy drinking, being extremely unreliable, and debts that plagued his acting career. He toured America starting in 1810, wowing crowds in New York and other cities, until the War of 1812 left him stranded in New York City, where he would pass of cirrhosis. A persistent urban legend claims that Cooke sold his skull to settle his debts, leading to his body being buried headless. Supposedly, that skull made its way to Philadelphia, where it was rediscovered in 1930. And tales persist of a headless ghost haunting lower Manhattan theaters, where he's still performing in the afterlife.
George Frederick Cooke is primed to take the stage once more, but our audience is ready to see a headless ghost as a leading man.
The headline from the New York Oracle is a cheeky reference to this exact NYC ghost story, blending real history with the supernatural vibe of Deadlock we oh so love. Good to know he's performing in the Cursed Apple. Harry Houdini, born Eric Weiss in 1874 in Budapest, Hungary. He was a legendary magician, illusionist, and escape artist who rose to fame in the late 19th century and early 20th century, who became well known for his death-defying escapes, breaking free from handcuffs, straitjackets, and the infamous sealed water tank, where he was suspended upside down in front of masses of audiences. I'm sure you know of this man. He pushed human limits, blending showmanship with engineering smarts. Passing on October 31st, 1926, in Detroit, Michigan, from a ruptured appendix. A man whose mysticism was key to his character, allowing him to fit perfectly in Deadlock's society of unique beings.
Is Harry Houdini really dead? Recent reports suggest that the legendary magician's final trick was to escape death itself.
John Hathorne, baptized August 1641 in colonial Salem, Massachusetts, was a prominent merchant, magistrate, and politician. John grew up in a well-connected Puritan family, building a career as a respected businessman and local official, serving as Justice of the Peace and representative in the Massachusetts General Court. Though his infamous role came during the Salem witch trials of 1692. As one of the leading judges, Hathorne was among the most vocal, aggressively questioning those accused. He helped condemn dozens of innocent people by hanging and never showing any remorse, truly believing he did right by purging evil from the colony. He served in the Superior Court until he resigned in 1712, dying on May 10th, 1717. His impact left a long shadow, his great-great-grandson and author, Nathaniel Hawthorne, adding a W to the family name to distance himself from the infamous witch judge. In Deadlock lore, there are many references to John Hathorne, especially in regards to Vindicta.
I was a child when they unjustly condemned me, powerless in every sense of the word. But now, in death, I've become all that they feared and more.
Centuries later, his descendants formed the Friends of Humanity, a modern neo-Inquisition hunting supernatural beings. Vindicta, now a vengeful spirit, revived during the first Maelstrom, seeks to protect her fellow entities and wage war against the group, with her primary target being the current leader, also named John Hathorne, who carries on his ancestors' crusade.
Rodgers and Hammerstein's latest musical, South Pacific, has become the hottest ticket in town, with some would-be theatergoers selling 1/8 of their souls to scalpers for prime seating.
Rodgers and Hammerstein. Richard Rodgers, a composer, and Oscar Hammerstein II, a lyricist, were the legendary Broadway duo who reshaped American musical theater in the 1940s through the 1950s, pioneering a style where they found a way to reshape storytelling through music. Some of their works include Oklahoma, The Sound of Music, Carousel, and as mentioned, the 1949 musical South Pacific. This reference not only conveys the up-and-coming artistry of musicals in the Cursed Apple, but helps hint at the game's mid-20th century time period. Another thing I forgot to mention is that South Pacific has ties to World War II, alluding that took place in the Deadlock universe. But that is a video for another time. Guys, don't laugh at my Latin on this one. Saint Benedict, 480 to 547 AD. Born in Norcia, Italy, the founder of Western monasticism and the patron saint of Europe, preaching of obedience, stability, and ora et labora, or pray and work. Most famous for miracles against demons, exorcising possessed monks, and commanding evil spirits to free themselves from cursed stones or artifacts. His Medal of Saint Benedict, which was made centuries later, is inscribed with Latin prayers like Crux sacra sit mihi lux, may the Holy Cross be my light. Guys, don't make fun of my Latin! It is used worldwide for exorcisms, warding evil, witchcraft, and demonic oppression. The Venators of Saint Benedict are a Vatican order deployed to areas with a high concentration of supernatural predators. They identify and exterminate threats with precision and relentless fury. Venator or Father Quinn Rourke being deployed to the Cursed Apple for this reason, paying terrible prices for a greater good. The Russian Empire. This next portion is going to be laid out a little bit differently, as they are all similar references made by the same hero. Raven, the cunning spy master of the Soviet Empire. A hero who used to be playable in Hero Labs until its discontinuation. As stated by his backstory, he serves directly under the ghost of Catherine the Great, who despises being a specter and tasks him with one mission.
And what's that, Chunkler?
To scour ancient writings, artifacts, and wisdom of those beyond, to give her a real body again. This task brings him to the Cursed Apple, where the patrons are his best shot. Many of his voice lines drop key notes regarding Russian imperial history. The Romanov family, or House of Romanov, was Russia's last imperial dynasty, reigning from 1613 to 1917. This family produced iconic rulers like Peter the Great, who modernized Russia and founded St. Petersburg, Catherine the Great, who expanded through conquests and reforms, and ending with Nicholas II. Nicholas's weak leadership amid World War I, family scandals in regards to his child, led to the 1917 revolution. The dynasty's rule ended brutally with the execution of Nicholas II, his wife Serena Alexandra, and their 5 children in 1918, putting an end to the monarchy.
The Romanovs don't take kindly to failure.
In this voice line, Raven makes a nod to the dynasty's ruthless reputation for demanding loyalty and punishing weakness or failure, fitting his high-stakes mission as given to him by the specter of Catherine the Great.
Empress Catherine will have her body, one way or another.
Catherine the Great. Born May 2nd, 1729 as a German princess, she rose to power as the Empress of Russia from the years of 1762 to 1796. She is considered one of Russia's most powerful and influential rulers. She married the future Tsar of Russia, Peter III, though he was not a very well-liked ruler. Months into his rule, Catherine organized a coup d'etat and took the throne for herself. During her rule, she promoted very progressive ideas, expanded Russian territories, strengthened the military, and promoted Western ideas into Russian society. She maintained the brutal serfdom system, showing she wasn't progressive on everything. As a female ruler, her reign came with many scandals, though many just hated to see a woman in charge. You might know her from the wild rumor that she died from engagements with a horse, though she actually died from a stroke, and this was just a rumor spread to humiliate her by political rivals. Grigory Rasputin, born 1869, also known as the Mad Monk, was a Siberian man who infiltrated the Romanov family. He wormed into the inner circle with the family, giving terrible political advice, backing corrupt ministers, and living a scandalous life of sex, alcohol, and power grabs that wrecked the monarchy's reputation right before the 1917 revolution. Assassinated in 1916, his story is that he was unkillable, having been poisoned, shot, beaten, and drowned. In Deadlock, Raven's voice line,
Rasputin had best not meddle in my plans.
warns of the meddlesome monk, alluding to the fact that Rasputin could even mess up his plan to give Catherine the Great a physical form. And now for some bonuses. Shout out to Fridge for these. In some very old images from when Deadlock was transitioning from Neon Prime, this newspaper can be found. One mentions George Melford, a prominent New York silent film actor and director, known for his roles in The Sheik and Dracula. This clip referencing to his film Behold My Wife. The other clip stating Roosevelt opening a national fighting ring. That is in reference to Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, the 26th US president, who was a boxing fanatic and famously installed a boxing ring in the White House. How fitting for him to set one up in the Cursed Apple too. And there you have it. Every historical reference that I could find, with the assistance of Fridge. Thank you, Fridge. I love how Valve weaves these pieces of real history into this game, knowing just what would fit in with its environment and its characters. This one's for all my Deadlock lore and history nerds out there. If I missed any references, drop them down in the comments below. This is kicking off a new series here on the channel where I will discuss other real-world references made within Deadlock. As always, all of my socials are gonna be listed down below. Go maybe check out my stuff sometime, you know? As always, thank you so very much for watching. Much love, good luck in your games, and I'll see you in the Cursed Apple. Bye!